5 months back in the nest, this time in the top job. Don Pyke has his hands full.
The club's had a long period of stability and has been a strong footy club. We've built that. It's now what's next. You know, where are we going next with various issues? We do a lot of things really well, but there's a lot of things we can do better.
On field, there's been improvement under Adam Simpson, who this time last year was under the pump to remain at the club. Pyke in constant dialogue with his coach.
You're always having conversations. I mean, how are you travelling? How's your energy? How's your drive? You know, and I'll have those conversations and see how he's going and what help he needs from us. And then we'll assess what it looks like at the end of the year.
Do you see a world where he's coaching West Coast beyond 2025?
It's almost impossible to predict. You know, it's 18 months to go on the current contract. And it'd be sort of probably foolish to suggest that, you know, we can get a visual into what that looks like beyond that.
Let's talk about Harley for a little bit, speaking of contracts. Everybody wants to know.
That was good. You waited about 7 questions.
I tried my hardest to wait for as long as possible.
Yeah.
What is going to happen in that space? It seems like an outside urgency for him to sign something, to extend, whether it be a year, 2, 10, whatever. Where does it sit right now with Harley?
Those conversations are happening, but we're also dealing with a 19-year-old young man who's in his first year of footy and going, well, let's actually just, it's not a massive rush to go, tie him down and get him to sign. It's more like, well, what do we want to do? What looks right for you, and how does it look right for you and your family and everything else? And there's a human involved here, and there's a family as well. And we're sort of talking to him, but he's really comfortable. He's enjoying it. He's frustrated he's not playing at the moment, but he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
I suppose the Eagles fans will be sitting back and thinking, well, if he doesn't sign today or tomorrow or next week, should we be worried? No, that's probably their thought.
No, and the reality is he's got 3 years. We can possibly extend him for a 4th, and look, we'll have a conversation about what that looks like beyond that as well.
With Elliot Yeo set to stay on a 3-year deal, West Coast can now focus on adding to its list.
And we're going to be pretty aggressive in that space. It's simple as that.
One WA-born Sydney star could be the prime target.
Are you interested? Have you made your interest clear to Chad Warner?
Yeah, well, look, once again, I'm not going to negotiate through here, but look, clearly he's a Western Australian boy. He's currently in Sydney. Obviously, I've been involved with Chad and coached around Chad and his development and stuff, and he'd be a player who'd be interesting, of course.
Pyke has joined forces with Freo CEO Simon Garlick in a bid to get a better travel deal for the WA clubs. An extra home game, less short breaks between games, and a potential WA version of Gather Round, all on the cards.
We're a WA team. We're going to have to travel, so it's not a reason why we can't play and win it away. It's just a reality of how do we minimise that and maybe get ourselves some sort of compensation for what clearly are numbers which suggest that we're doing substantially more, 4 or 5 times more travel than some of the other clubs.